What's up YouTube? If your Marvel Snap experience has been anything like mine recently, you have been running into a ton of Sandman and Galactus decks. And if you are as frustrated by them as I am, I might have just the right spice for you. So I've built this deck having those two matchups in mind specifically. I tried to make a good deck that is as annoying as possible for Galactus and Sandman Ramp players. So which cards do they not like to see? For sure Iceman, because Iceman is quite likely to hit their Ramp cards Electro and Wave, because most of the rest of the hand is usually going to be very expensive. Besides that, Goose can shut them down quite nicely and limit the amounts of plays they can do. Storm kind of does the same thing, takes a location away, and then we can annoy them with Cosmo in the one location that they have left to play, or we can shut them down with Professor X, stopping Galactus in his tracks, or stopping Dr. Doom from spawning a Doombot army. And of course I wanted the deck to overall be solid, so I was looking for a good shell to include all of these cards, and naturally a Silver Surfer deck made quite a lot of sense. It doesn't mind Goose at all, it has a lot of synergies with Storm because you can just play Juggernaut or Brood behind Storm. Mr. Fantastic can be great because it can still reach the Professor X location and support the Goose and Storm flooded locations. And we can also play a very sneaky Daredevil. A lot of people still won't expect a Professor X in a Silver Surfer deck. It is a very uncommon tech choice, which makes your life much easier and you can catch a lot of people by surprise. I was positively surprised by the performance of this deck. I'll be quite honest, I did not get to play this a ton yet, so I would be curious about your experiences with the deck and whether or not it is actually as consistent of a counter as I hope that it is. But it is a very flexible and well-rounded deck that can very much annoy your opponent and you have a lot of opportunities to outplay them. The one thing that this deck is missing is going very tall. It doesn't play any huge cards, but as long as you are restricting your opponent's location space in a smart way, you don't really need tall cards. And even if your opponent does drop something big, Juggernaut can take care of it. So for me, this was a very challenging but satisfying list to play. And it did perform pretty well into the infinite rank meta. And if you want some inspiration on how this deck can be played, here are some highlights from my own run with it. Oh, same player. Both of us are not potty trained. So it's an even matchup. Nakia. No, Iceman is a bit sad. Brood, where are you? Isn't this just double Storm? And then we Goose the last location? Double Goose also works true into Storm next turn. Oh yeah, double Storm wouldn't even work because of course Storm would shut down Sinister London before, like card effect before location effect. So this double Goose and then Storm the third location, most likely. I missed the snap. Oh, I suck at this game. Honestly? Do we just willingly give up the left side here? It's fine, right? The issue is this doesn't really stop Dr. X, Dr. Octopus. It's fine though. I want to snap, but I also kind of want to not snap for the content. You know what? Let's not snap for the content. Sandman it is. What you gonna do when they come for you? No, it's just Polaris into Surfer. Does Juggernaut make sense? Two Lizards middle, and they both get debuffed. Polaris would split them 1-on-1. I think Juggernaut is better. We have to win the right side. Yep, Juggernaut into Surfer. And? Are you gonna stay? What do you think, dear opponent? Oh, that was a beautiful game. It worked out perfectly, just like we wanted to work against. Oh, and they stayed for an extra cube. It was actually brilliant to not snap. Did they forget about the lizard debuffs? I'm not sure. That seemed overly optimistic by our opponent. GG's? That felt good. Lynn. Okay, this doesn't really help us with our current hand. We have Storm into Brood, but we have a very slow start. Colossus start. Oh, this is so good with Brood. Let's go. And we found Daredevil. Okay, I think we're just Storm into Brood on the right side. I think we still do it. Good chance our opponent plays 1 or 2 cards to the right as well, since Nidavellir is so advantageous. Thank goodness we dodged this one. That would have been devastating. This feels a lot like a Spectrum deck, doesn't it? I kind of feel like just bopping in a YOLO Professor X into the middle. I mean, Daredevil is going to tell us what's up. If we Prof X the middle, they cannot Mr. Fantastic anymore, they can't Claw anymore, they can't Spectrum anymore, they cannot get power into the right side. Opponent snapped. Snap before you play a card? You're crazy. Show me what you got. I'm very curious here. Dino would be devastating. That's it? Cute. What is their plan though? Still need a lot of power to win on the right. Yeah, we're definitely snapping back. I'm just giving it a couple seconds so it's not super obvious that we're just straight up beating them here. This is the only opportunity we have to snap back. GG's. I think they considered Eggs. Yeah, it's very uncommon in a Surfer deck. I can't blame them. But that's what makes it so good. It's super advantageous for us. Nice try. But that wasn't even flipping the middle around. GG's. Pretty good opening, except for the absence of Iceman. Don't love to see Raptors. I don't think we want middle to get too clogged. I think we play Daredevil right side here. I'll just play Brood here next turn, I think. Fantastic into Brood looks good. Also, Goose left is gonna be a banger. They're very restricted for space overall. Oh, they must have a really bad draw. Should have probably snapped earlier. I would not really expect them to stay in this. You never know. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, we can bait them into staying in this though. If we go like Juggernaut this turn, and next turn we play Cosmo, there's a higher likelihood that they stay in this. Right? This is perfect. We intentionally do not close out the game yet, so our opponent stays for more cubes next turn. So all we need to do is make sure we don't accidentally lose randomly. Do we even play Goose in this case? I don't think we do. I think it's just this, and the next turn is like Juggernaut Cosmo. Because we want our opponent to play something like White Tiger here. Oh, this is perfect. See, I think we baited them into staying here perfectly. Gotta love it. That's how you maximize cube efficiency. Very important to not just play the card game part of this game, but also be smart about the betting and cube part. Rocks. We already have a good hand. We don't mind rocks that much. Okay, now I'm curious. We don't really know what our opponent's playing yet. Would probably be Doomwave then. Go for the nice and non-committal Mr. Fantastic play. They got our Juggernaut, okay. And they did not save it for Galactus, that's interesting. I think they played it right side because they thought we were Galactus. Then why don't you save it for turn 5 or 6? Just play on curve here, I think. Oh, that's so good for us. They have two Dr. Dooms now, though. We can't pull their lizard around. We know they're trying to go for Doom on the final turn. What we can try is Juggernaut and hope the arrow goes middle. I don't really see a play that wins besides getting lucky with Juggernaut. Okay, I think that worked out. We're definitely not safe here, though. Our opponent knows we have Doom as well. What if we just go for a Surfer play instead? Snipe Doom with Cosmo. We could 50-50 this, that's true, but... what if our opponent just plays one big card on one of the sides? It's probably the best play, though, isn't it? Maybe Surfer instead of Cosmo, because we beat Doom anyway. It is Doom, isn't it? Oh, it is Chavez. Okay, the Surfer was super clutch. Like changing up to Surfer in the last second. I was actually thinking whether or not this type of Doom wave would run Chavez. Some players love it, some players hate it. And it was a bit fortunate that they played Chavez left and not right. Worked out just perfectly. Oh. You're not gonna have fun today, Crocodile. I'm not quite sure if we're playing Iceman every turn here. I think we are. Does the rock benefit me in any way? I don't think it does. Goose and Iceman together here is so nasty. This is such a silly game, I love it. Oh, movement though. Gotta watch out. I might be able to get into Luke's bar. Think this is enough with the Iceman for now. Hopefully drawing a 3-drop here. So we can go Daredevil 3-drop and then Surfer 3-drop. No! We're actually helping the multiple man. That was unintended. Okay, this is really good though. But I'd want to play Cosmo on the very final turn. We could also play Helicarrier last turn though. Let's do this now and then Helicarrier right side. The Surfer is just 6 power at this point. Oh, but this shuts down Heimdall. Have to play into Luke's bar, which is not great for them. I like this more. Fuck, they have priority. Didn't pay attention. Oh, the Polaris might have cost me the game. Wrecked by a Hulkbuster. Ah, poor draw as well. Something like Maximus and we can totally go, like, try to go for tiebreakers. But not like these. It's been a while since I got wrecked by multiple, man.
Escaped.
Oh, that makes games very interesting. Just hope we're not facing a Sandman deck. We can shut down locations nicely here, though. We have Cosmo. We do have Storm. Oh. Yeah, we cannot destroy anything, so we don't mind Wakanda at all. We just storm the 3rd location. Oh, I don't want to snap this without knowing what my opponent's playing.
Wind, aid my hand.
Hela? If it's Hela, we just straight up win here because one location is gonna have Goose, the other one's Cosmo. And if it's a Gambit combo deck, we also just win, so I think we snap? I'm very curious about our opponent's deck here. My best guess would be Hela. Though Gambit in Hela is kind of random. Okay, secured this one. No! Don't hit Goose. Sarah. Okay, it is an all-in Gambit combo deck. So I want to save Cosmo for later. But then I wouldn't really have a play this turn. Oh, that's not good. They could still try to set up a hazmat combo. Now I think it is good. Can still get buffs in here with Surfer. I think we just pop it in here. Or well, we Professor X the left so that they can't have on reveals anywhere. I would want to do that the next turn, which is also tricky. Nah, I think we just YOLO this one out. We could still get Omega chunked by Hazmat. Gotta try, right? They discarded Odin. Only have 3 slots left. This is gonna be like, what? Wong, Hazmat, Luke Cage. Would be good. Almost perfectly predicted, but definitely good enough. Cool game though. We got a lot of information about our opponent's deck very early on, and that was kind of what saved us. We had a good idea of how we have to play this game, how we have to navigate this matchup. play some cool decks. Oh, good curve. In this case, we don't really mind Attilan because we're getting a bunch of cards out early. Could also storm this, maybe. Nova. I think we'd prefer Daredevil over Goose here. I think overall, against most Nova decks, Daredevil is going to be more impactful. Asteroid M is really annoying. I think we try to bounce something into Murder World here. And I honestly think this is good enough to warrant a snap. Because if it does work, it's only going to work half of the time. But the expected value of this play is very high. Because even if it doesn't work, we're still in an okay position. If it does work, we're definitely very far ahead. Go middle, go middle, go middle. Fuck. I think this benefits my opponent more than us. Has to be fantastic, and I hate it because it gets moved. We do have Daredevil though, we're getting a good Prof X off here. Hopefully. I might go Sarah middle, I guess. Oh, then it gets really hard to win on one of the two sides though. And if they kill Monger, they still tie. This is looking a little bit doomed. Could do this and hope to top deck Surfer. I don't like it. Oh, we have priority here. This could be good. It's crazy to stay in this, right? I could even have Killmonger sniping out my Iceman. Cosmo Maximus. Ah, classic for the content moment. Let's go for the content. I'd click retreat later if I was tryharding, I think. Not 4 cards, please. Fuck. I had a pretty good hand as well for this situation, but yeah, I'm pretty sure retreat would have been the wiser choice. We faced this player before. I don't remember their deck though. Okay, Camartage, we're generally happy to see it. Clog up the middle. Keep the right side open for a potential Brood and left for, you know, our shenanigans. For Surfer, for Iceman. Bucky. No Brood in hand, unfortunate. Could have tried to pull them apart with Bucky here, with Polaris here. Venom and Bucky, okay. Did trigger twice, pretty slick. I hate you, X-Mansion. Next turn is one of those YOLO X turns, I'm pretty sure. Wild. This is just gonna be null, right? I'm confused. What kind of deck plays Venom and Absorbing Man? Okay, how about Professor X middle, Juggernaut right? Well, or the other way around. My opponent more likely to flip this turn though. I think they're more likely to play right than middle. But I'm just guesstimating here. Come on, come on, some shit. No, wait, that's fine with Surfer. Oh, this is perfect. Venom is a 3 cost. We're getting pushed up to 14 here. I think Boomer Snap is too greedy though. It's a bit too obvious that Surfer puts us up here. But I would say pretty good chances that we get 1 extra cube from our opponent here. Let's go! Let's go! That worked out perfectly. GG's.